Well, hello everyone. Today's video is going to cover sidewalks and curbs. So with this, you should have to this point the outline of where your buildings are going to be, so that you're not going to be doing additional erase marks down the road. So you don't have to have all the windows and doors knocked out for all these, but you should have the skeleton of all of your, pretty much like this guy, just a blank canvas of all your buildings, so you know where all of your sidewalks would be to this point. There might be some where the entire section is erased because you just have a little chunk that's going to be shown. So this part, very important that you watch. So this is for sidewalks and curbs. So put your pencil on the vanishing point. You're going to start off first at the corner and draw that line, making sure that they all match up. Make sure you have all those in. Then you're going to slide over your ruler, still lined up to the vanishing point. Make sure it matches up to the size you want it to be, and then draw on all the spots that would be sidewalks. And then slide your ruler again. Draw. Pencil on the vanishing point, slide over again. And as you do this, when you go to your far back one, you might be just drawing part of a line and the rest then getting omitted. So as I'm doing this, it's going to now just be 2 rows that I have to do. And I will just go copy paste, and do all these angled lines. You're going to notice that the lines are tipping to the side more and more as I go further out. Now when you are directly underneath a vanishing point, then the sidewalk would not have an angle at all. It would just be straight up and down. But as you get further away from left or right, then it is going to have this, it's kind of like a minute or second hand on a clock. It's just slowly working its way around. And now, done with this half. I'm not going to do the other half. The other half, it's identical. It's just draw, but now it's going to be to the left side. Copy paste on that side for yours, of course, but that is how you would do the horizontal sides of a sidewalk. Now, going back in space for a sidewalk, I'm going to make a couple little light marks of where I'm saying I'm going to have the sidewalk go, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see that. So I made just a couple little dashes, and now I'm going to go parallel to this sidewalk, match up, draw a line, slide back. I'm looking parallel, match, draw. Last time, match up, draw. So these ones do not have angles, which sometimes students get confused by, and the reason why they don't have angles is because the sides go to the vanishing point. There's always 2 sides that go to the vanishing point. If we look at the building next to it, these 2 sides are not going to the vanishing point. These 2 are. So you have to recognize the windows. 2 sides going to the vanishing point, 2 sides not. So with 1 point and 2 point, there's always going to be 2 sides going, and then there's going to be a couple sides not. So we already have the left and right side going to the vanishing point, so that means the top and bottom go parallel, horizontal, so they're not going to match up. So now I'm going to slide back, and I will figure out, make a couple little marks where I want sidewalks to be, and then just match up, parallel line, slide back, copy paste. And then your sidewalk is all done for just the outlining of it. Now is doing the finishing touches. So if you're going to end up It's kind of like whether you have pancakes versus pancakes with chocolate chips, maybe some Cool Whip, some add-ons. Well, when you throw in a curb, oh my gosh, it just gives it some dimension. So the sidewalk is not just flat, flush with the street. It's usually raised up a little bit. So this line is going to be microscopic. It's going to be the smallest building ever. Just a really small little line. So small to where I have to zoom in for you to possibly see that line. So that is the height. It's pretty much making a little mini building. So now we're going to take that little mini building and match it up with our sidewalk and draw across. That is the curb. Now to make this curb look ooh la la, you would draw the lines going down on the side of the curb. So these would be straight up and down to show that, I mean, one, these don't angle back to the vanishing point. They're like little buildings in themselves, but having them go straight up and down, it gives now the illusion that these sidewalk squares are raised up. So to finish this off, we just need to take and go from this corner back to the vanishing point. I'm putting my pencil on the vanishing point, I'm lining up, and then drawing back. And you can see now I have that pretty much done. I just need to go from where the sidewalks squares end and go up and down. And this always tends to be toughest for me because I want to angle my ruler, and we just need to remember go straight up and down. And voila, ooh la la, done. If your gun's blazing, do the same thing on the back sidewalk, and you're going to have a whole lot of nothing to do because there's only like 3 squares that you'd end up doing if yours was similar to mine. This back side, I lined it up to the vanishing point, and as you can see, you're going to barely see past 4 or 5, and this whole section, it just kind of disappears because it's getting so far back you're not going to see the curve. So that is all the steps to being able to knock out making sidewalk squares and curbs.